Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaye Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Namah Pranavarthaye Shuddha Jnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaye Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Apyayantu mamangani.
Apyayantu mamangani.
Vak pranat chakshus shotramato balamindriyani cha sarvani.
Vak
Chakshushotramato balamindriyani cha sarvani.
Sarvam Brahma Upanishadam.
Sarvam Brahmaupanishadam.
Maham Brahma Nirakuryam.
Maham Brahma nirakuryam.
Ma Brahma Nirakarod.
Ma Brahma nirakarod.
Anirakaranamaspanirakaranam me astu.
Nirakaranam me astu.
Tadatmani nirate ya upanishadsu dharmaha.
Tadatmani nirate upanishadsu dharmaha.
Te mai santu. Te mai
Te mayi
santu.
santu. Te mayi santu.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Fourth verse from there, let us chant. Yad vacha anabhyuditam.
Yadvacha anadhyatitam.
Yena vak abhyudhyate.
Yena vakyabhyudyate.
Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi.
Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi.
Nedam yadidam upasate.
Nedam yadidam upasate.
Yan manasana manute.
Yan manasana manute.
Ena hurmano matam.
Yena hurmano matam.
Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi.
Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi.
Nedam yadidam upasate.
Nedam yadidam upasate.
Yat chakshusha pashyati. Yena chakshugumshi pashyati.
Yena chakshugumshi pashyati.
Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi.
Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi.
Nedam yadidam upasate.
Nedam yadidam upasate.
Yat shrotrena na shrunoti.
Yat shrotrena na shrunoti.
Yena shrotamidagurshrutam.
Yena shrotamidagum shrutam.
Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi.
Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi.
Nedam yadidam upasate.
Nedam yadidam upasate.
Yat pranena na praniti.
Yat pranena praniti.
Yena prana praniyate.
Yena prana praniyate.
Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi.
Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi.
Nedam yadidam upasate.
Nedam yadidam upasate.
Yad vacha anabhyuditam. Yena vak abhyudhyate. Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yadidam upasate. That which is not available for vak. Vak includes everything. The letters, the sounds produced, sentences, the words, the sentences, what the hearer understands, whole process of speaking, everything is included in vak. None of this can reveal Chaitanya Rupa Brahman. Because every syllable uttered, every sound produced, the producer of that sound, the instrument you use to produce the sound. You know, in Sanskrit, all the sounds produced are defined from where it is produced. Every sound that is understood by the hearer, all of them depend on that Chaitanya Rupa Brahman. Sometimes the word consciousness is used, awareness is used, but they can be misunderstood because they are very common words. What we call consciousness, the person falls down unconscious. That is not the consciousness we're talking about. That's why we use the word Chaitanyam. That Chaitanyam is always there, backing everything. Without the Chaitanyam, nothing has an existence. In sleep, none of these instruments, Sukshma Sharira, is available. Even the Sthula Sharira is unmanifest. You don't know the existence of the Sthula Sharira or the Sukshma Sharira, except Prana, of course. And yet, Chaitanyam is. Before the sound is produced, Chaitanyam was. During the production of the sound, Chaitanyam is. When you stop producing the sound, Chaitanyam is. That by which all of these exist is that Brahman. Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi. That which is not available for recognition, for revelation by vak. And vak includes all of these. But itself makes the vak be. Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi. That is the I. Shrotrasya shrotram chakshushu chakshuhu. Yad. Where vak cannot reach, manas cannot reach, nothing can reach, because they are the ones who are making it do anything. The Chaitanyam. Tad dhama paramam mama you see in various places. In Bhagavad Gita also you see that. That abode, that place, you cannot reach through vak. They'll come back unsuccessful. Nedam yadidam upasate. Recognize that which makes everything happen by its mere presence as that Brahman, as I. Not all that you do upasana to. Dhyanam is to be done on something. Dhyana is important. Upasana is important. In fact, it is said people who do prescribed karma throughout their life, in other places, in other Upanishads, they will go to the better lokas. But they don't get moksha. They only go to some loka, stay and come back. And those who do karma along with upasana, as prescribed, they can go all the way up to Brahmaloka. One more loka only. The only difference between the lokas one can reach by karma and the loka one can reach by karma and upasana is that in Brahmaloka, there is a possibility that one can learn from Brahmaji himself. We saw in Mundaka Upanishad, the whole teaching started with Brahmaji, not Brahman. The teaching about Brahman is given first by Brahmaji. And that teaching, that knowledge that you gain is moksha. Knowledge is moksha. So karma will take you to various lokas. Karma and upasana will take you all the way to Brahmaloka. But to gain what we're looking for, moksha, freedom from everything, is sheer knowledge. Whether Brahmaji teaches us or our own guru right here teaches us the same message, same methodology. Same words. That which is viditat anyat, aviditat adhi. Same teaching will take place. Upasana is important for not for getting to Brahmaloka, but for getting ourselves ready to gain this knowledge. Both karma and upasana are important. So this Upanishad also does not underplay upasana. It is important. But that is not the knowledge of Brahman. Na idam yadidam upasate, on which one does upasana. This, we read this just now. It is repeated in every verse for the next 4 or 5 verses. Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yadidam upasate. When you do upasana, the upasaka does upasana on an object of upasana. Typically, that Ishta Devata. But what have we done? There is an upasaka. I am doing upasana on my Ishta Devata, another. That distance is always there. As long as the distance is there, as long as I is not included in anything, that knowledge does not. That is the knowledge. Vakyam is that only. Therefore, understanding cannot take place. That I am that Brahman. Tad Brahma Sa Atma. That equation we cannot gain. It has a value, upasana, but as long as upasana splits the upasaka and the object of upasana, as long as the meditator is different from subject on which is being meditated, or the object on which is being meditated, it has only some value as far as one's own evolution is concerned. It is not the knowledge that we are seeking. One realizes as long as there is seeking taking place, there's always two, the seeker and the sought. Only when one recognizes the seeker is the sought, and that the human mind finds very difficult to see. I seek outside. I search like that person who was searching for the ring under the street light, because that's where I can see. That's not where you lost it. You lost it inside your kutia. It's very dark there. I can't see anything. What's the point searching there? As long as you continue to search under the street light, you're not going to gain this. So walk, he starts with more or less mirroring what he said earlier in answer to the question in the second verse, and goes on to say, Yan manasana manute. Manas includes also everything. Manas is thought, vritti. Manas is all the indecision. Manas is all the decision also. Manas includes buddhi. With all that facility, with all the instruments we have, we access this through the senses, because manas by itself doesn't go out, and it is a thought vritti that is produced because of the senses which go out and report something. Then the thought, the vritti, envelops that. Then you know the object. Then you make a decision, or you waver. All that is manas. Yan manasana manute. It is not accessible to the mind, which itself backs every sense to create knowledge, but knowledge of objects. And we've already said it is not any object. It is not a particular color. It is not a particular sound. It's not a particular smell. Though every one of them is that Brahman, I. So it is not an object. How is the manas going to find it? You already said Tatra vak na gacchati na manaha aprapya manasa saha. Words go seeking this along with the manas, which includes, like I said, the thought, the thinking, the decision making, everything comes back unsuccessful. Very flowery image. So manas cannot access it. In fact, Shankaracharya has a very nice expression for what should include manas. Let me see if we can state that. Manas, he says, Sarva Karana Sadharanam Sarva Vishaya Vyapakatva. It backs every karana. Kamaha, sankalpaha, vichikitsa, doubt. Shraddha, ashraddha, dhritihi, adhritihi, hrihi, dhihi, ityetat sarvam manayeva. It is what backs every sense. Jnanendriya. Without which Jnanendriya is only report. There is no further processing that takes place. It is desire, it is sankalpa, samshaya, it is doubt, it is shraddha, ashraddha, dhairyam, adhairyam, everything included, buddhi is included in manas. With all this, it cannot reach out to and access you. You back manas. You make manas exist. Therefore, none of these. Then he goes on to say, Tena manasa yat chaitanya jyotihi manasa avabhasakam na manute na sankalpayati na api nischinoti lokaha. Manas cannot access this. And yet, the second line says, Yena manaha matam iti ahuhu, by which mind functions. Swakarya kshamam bhavati. It is capable of doing what it's supposed to do. Collect all the data from all the reporters, and process them. That capacity to do what it is supposed to do, it has because of you, Brahman. That manas is not you. Or let's reword it. You are not that manas. Manas is also you. Everything is you. Because none of them can exist without I, the Brahman. So everything is I. But to say that I am that manas is where our error occurs. Therefore, every limitation of the manas, I take on myself. Saying, I am sad. I am disturbed because the manas is disturbed. Or even I am ignorant. That which makes one realize I am ignorant is also the Brahman. In this thought that goes out, if you see in a shop selling all earthenware, you see a vision of a pot. Knowledge of pot is gained. Knowledge of a jar is gained. So your pot knowledge, jar knowledge, lid knowledge, some other thing knowledge, big pot knowledge, small pot knowledge, leaky pot knowledge. What is common among all of them? That which one sees beyond simply seeing the pot. That is common among all of them. That which is not negatable. I see a pot, I have a pot vision. Then it breaks, I have short vision. Broken pot. Then something else comes. I have a lid vision. But that which makes us vision in every one of them practical, is possible, is that I. Yan manasana manute, which then sees all these which has both the elements, the vision of the pot, vision of the lid, vision of the thing. One element is changing, pot is changing, pot vision is changing, lid vision is changing, this vision is changing, but that which is unchanging, that Brahman is I. Nedam yadidam upasate, that which is not an object of any meditation, not an object of any upasana. And manasana manute yena ahuhu manaha matam. Matam includes all of this. The knowledge, the thought, its own samarthyam, its so whatever it can do, all that is because of yena, it is said. Ahuhu. I guess ahuhu is added to keep the meter. You can say ahu, it's said by people who know. Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yadidam upasate. It is the same concept that it is that Brahman, that I is not an object, it's I the subject. Expressed in a way which makes it possible to understand. Not once, but taking almost every single sense and making us see that repeatedly. This repetition will happen. Tattvamasi Shvetaketu is said 9 times in Chandogya Upanishad, in 9 different examples. Remembering here also, Vak does not reveal it, not available for Chakshu, not available for Manas, nor available for sight. What is available for sight is only a form and a color. Here is Chaitanyam, Chaitanya Rupa Brahman Aham, formless, colorless. How is sight going to access it? That formless, akhanda, avyaya, atma, Brahman, I, is what makes it possible for Chakshu to see color, to see form. But not possible. You can read the Bhashyam, Yat Chakshusha na pashyati. That which cannot be seen by the eyes, because it has no form, no color, no attributes at all. Any attribute is subject to change, subject to deterioration. Na vishayi karoti, cannot be objectified. Antakarna vritti sanyuktena lokaha. Yena chakshumsi, chakshumsi is eyes, plural. Antakarna vritti bheda bhinnat chakshu vritti. That sees the varied forms, varied colors, is possible only because of which? Chaitanya. Chaitanya Atma Jyotisha Vishayi Karoti. It does its job of objectifying anything outside, any color, any form. Vyapnoti. That which pervades I also. I is also nothing but Brahman. Tadeva Brahmatam Vidhi. Know that Chaitanyam to be Brahman, you. Nedam yadidam upasate. Not what the eyes or any other senses take as an object of meditation. Once somebody asked me, when you do meditation, Swami G, you tell me you do meditation on Saguna Brahma Ishvara. You have to have an object of meditation. What do you meditate on? You can't be blank. So I was telling them that you can objectify anything, assign Ishvaratvam, because everything is Ishvara, and meditate upon it. So the young boy wanted to know, Swamiji, can I meditate on my girlfriend? Sure, you can. As long as you see Ishvara in your girlfriend. But when you do any meditation, that object, whether it is in fact, I would suggest, let us say you're doing a complicated maths problem, you're meditating upon it. You've cut out all other inputs. You're only meditating on that one single problem. That is also meditation. But meditation, as we understand here, is Saguna Brahma Vyapara. Transaction on meditating on Saguna Brahma. But anything you can do it on, as long as you understand that everything is nothing but Ishvara. And you're able to see Ishvara in that. It's a fundamental thing in all ancient religions. This is there. How much people understood, I don't know. How much the invaders, the colonizers who went and obviously did not understand it. And they started laughing at them, saying, oh, he prays to trees. Today they are understanding that you have to pray to trees, otherwise the whole earth will boil up in a few years. They laughed at them and they made them give it up. They made every religion in Africa and South America, in Australia, right? Even in the US. They made them give it up. The fact is that everything is Ishvara. And if you recognize that, and you can invoke Ishvara in anything, you can do prayer to that. You can do upasana on that. But it is still not I. As long as that upasana remains an upasaka, upasya relationship, it is always Dvaitam. Only when the clarity comes that the upasaka and the upasya are the same, does knowledge begin to occur. So whether chakshuhu or shrotram, whether the eyes, the seeing, the object of seeing, the seer, each one is separate. As long as one doesn't understand that this subject-object differentiation has no meaning, then we'll continue to be in that state. There are times when we see something and completely get immersed in it. I love this example of playing with a small infant. You play with the infant, at that moment, your self-identity is not there anymore. You are Ananda Swarupa. Subject-object differentiation is gone. And what comes out is only your Swarupa. But that doesn't last. Anything, you see a beautiful sunset We get to see beautiful sunrise and sunset here every day. Those of you who have not visited, you must make a point to come and stay with us for a while. Beautiful sunset. Every day is different. And when you're observing that sunrise and sunset, you're one with the sunrise. Subject-object differentiation is gone for that moment. That is the understanding of I. When there is no subject, no object. In a happy moment, we see this. In sleep, we see this. There's no subject object. Because only problem with sleep is because all our antakarana are unmanifest. So even though the subject object difference is gone, even though we are actually in Ananda, we don't get to know. And because prana keeps one alive, that has to keep alive because there's still a lot of karma phala to be experienced. So one wakes up the next morning, all the unmanifest Sukshma Sharira become manifest, the Sthula Sharira becomes manifest. We are ready to face one more set of Bhoktrutvam. But there are these moments we get when we understand the non-differentiation between subject-object. That moment when one is alive to the fact that the meditator and meditated are the same. That's when Jnanam arises. It's not that it is something new that is coming up. It is always there. We just don't know. So, yat chakshushana pashyati, yena chakshu gumshi pashyati, by which eyes do what they have to do. Tadeva brahmatvam vidhi, that recognize that as Brahman, as I. Nedam yadidam upasate. I've seen people do meditation, they keep a green card, put a Om there and do meditation on that. Very good. But you're still meditating on an object. Only when you understand what Om stands for. As a Shabda Pratika. Stands for everything. Sarvam. And that Sarvam is I. Can one recognize oneself? Same thing with Shrotra. Yat Shrotrena na Shranoti. The Brahman is not a particular frequency of sound, nor an amplitude. Like a dog whistle, which is beyond the human capacity to hear. No. It is all sounds, all frequencies, all amplitudes. So what, Swami Ji, is it a cacophony? No. It is pure sound. Sound is Brahman. Brahman is not the sound. Therefore, Shrotrena na Shranoti. Here, earlier he said walk. That which is not available, anabhyudite, is not available for walk. Is not available for hearing also. It is not sound frequency. Can't put it on a sound lab and check it out, tuning fork and say, here's a Brahman. The tuning fork operates because of Brahman. The ears hear the tuning fork because of Brahman or you. Therefore, yena shrotram idagum shrutam. The ear, the instrument, the hearing the object of hearing, which is sound. Everything operates simply because there is Brahman backing you, backing them. You are Brahman. That's the differentiation we have to make. Yat shrotrena na shrunoti, yena shrotamidam shrutam. By which shrotra, ears, do the job, by which sound becomes sound, by which sound becomes intelligible. Yat shrotrena na shrunoti, dig devata adishtatena, akasha karyena, manovritya sanyuktena, na vishayi karoti. Same word Acharya also used. Na vishayi karoti. It is not objectified. Yena shrotram idam shrutam. By which ear hears, sound is heard. Yat prasiddham chaitanya atma jyotisha vishayi kritam. Tadeva ityadi. Tadeva brahmatam viddhi. You could have just said one verse and left it there. But make sure that we think about it again and again. Sometimes you have to dwell upon it. What is the Brahman I? So repeatedly he will say, eyes cannot see without that. Eyes cannot see it. Ears cannot hear it. Ears cannot hear it at all without that. Tadeva brahmatvam viddhi. Mind cannot operate. Thoughts cannot operate. Speech cannot operate. Their own, whatever their capacity is, they cannot exhibit. Very interestingly, in sleep, they don't exhibit these properties, each one. But Chaitanya is still there. Without the Chaitanya, they don't exist. Nor can they exhibit any of their properties. Nor can they do anything. But in dream, when you have nightmares, even though Chaitanya then operates itself and you do sleepwalking, sleep talking, sometimes can be dangerous, sleep talking. But you do that as well. Even sleepwalking, somnambulism. Chaitanya has to be there. You sleepwalk, Chaitanya is behind you, go back to sleep, Chaitanya is still behind you. Behind that act. Because the Chaitanya is you. Yat pranena na praniti, yena prana praniyate. That by which you cannot smell anything. It is not something which gives satta to Brahman. Prana gives satta to everything, as energy to everything that's in the body, including your thinking. Without that prana, nothing happens in the sharira. Sukshma sharira does not operate. Sthula sharira cannot walk, talk, lift anything without prana. So prana energizes everything else. But prana cannot energize you, Brahman. Yat pranena praniti. Air going in and out. And all the other prana functions. Prana, apana, udana, samana, all of them. they continue to operate only because of Chaitanya. That's why when in deep sleep, when every other Sthula Sharira, like I said, unmanifest, Sukshma Sharira is unmanifest, but prana continues, digestion continues, circulation continues. Thank God for that. Breathing continues. Only because Chaitanya is still there. You are still there. Yat prane nana praniti. That by which that which energizes, activates everything in the Sharira itself depends for its activity on which Tadeva Brahmatvam Vidhi. Yena prana praniyate. That which activates, energizes the thinking, the actions, everything, that itself is dependent on Brahman, on you, for its activity. Yat pranena praniti, yena prana praniyate. Shankaracharya says, Yat pranena granena parthivena nasika. He goes into all kinds of details. The air that passes through the nose, yat na praniti, gandavanna vishayi karoti. Same vishayi karoti used everywhere. Na vishayi karoti. But yena chaitanya atma jyotisha avabhasya tvena svavishayam prati pranaha praniyate. That svavishayam, svasamarthyam, everything is because of the Chaitanya. He's now said everything clearly. That one question he asked, what is it that makes the mind land where it lands? What is it that makes every element operate? Yeneshitam patitam preshitam manaha. Yeneshitam vacham vadanti. What makes the sound be produced? Chakshushotra kau devo yunakti. That was the question originally. To which the teacher said, just way of putting it, how can you have said something like that? You should have said, oh, it is one element called Brahman. You will not get any answer. So he said, Chakshusas chakshuhu, Shotrasya shrotram, Manaso manoyat, Pranasya pranam. That which is, which makes each of these operate. So is there another eye behind the eye? No, that also is an object. It will become an object. No. And having said that, he explained that that which is not accessible to any of these senses, and took the great trouble to explain it in detail. And that which is neither known nor unknown. Known and unknown constitute everything in the Jagat. Because unknown also becomes knowable. Somewhere, somehow, someone will know. So if it is nothing in the Jagat, it is not an object, then it has to be subject. Came that much. Then went on to explain that that subject I is Brahman. Tadeva Brahmatvam Viddhi. If the students had already got it, they could have done namaskaram to the Guru and gone home. But the Guru understands that it's not as elementary as that. So having explained in so much detail, Guru puts a twist now. He makes a statement. If you know, if you say, or if you think you know Brahman thoroughly, then you have to do more mimamsa, more analysis. Tonight he's been teaching them, this is Brahman, this one. He didn't say, okay, have you understood? He made a statement. If you think you know thoroughly, subhijnatam, then you don't know. Then you have to do more analysis of the Vakya of Shastra. So says Shastra. It's also part of that only. And he expects an answer. He didn't straightforward go ask students, okay, have you understood? And if anybody had got up and said, yes, I understood, then he can say, no, you're not understood. Do you know Brahman? Yes. What is Brahman? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. Just now he said, Yan Manasana Manute. How can you make a statement, I know? Manas can only know anything which is an object of the Jagat. Thoughts, buddhi, sankalpadi can only know something which is an object. How do you say I know? So the teacher starts a very interesting next mantra in the second chapter. It says, can we put that the second chapter first verse? Yadi manyase suvedeti.
यदि
Manyase suvedeti.
मन्यसे सुवेदेति
Daharame vapi nunam tvam.
नगरमे वापि नूनं त्वं
Daharame vapi nunam tvam vetta brahmana rupam. Brahmano rupam.
ब्रह्मणो रूपम्
Yadasya tvam yadasya deveshu.
यदस्य त्वं यदस्य देवेषु
Athanu mimamshamevate.
अतनुमीमांस्यमेव ते
Manye viditam.
मन्ये विदितम्.
The Guru is saying, Yadi manyase suvedeti. If you think you know it well, suvedeti. Not just know, but I know it thoroughly, I know it completely, I know it very well, suvedeti. Daharame vapi nunam. Dahar means alpam. In fact, the Patabeda also, dabrame vapi also means the same. Dabhramevapi nunam. You certainly know very little. If you think you know very little. Tvam vetta brahmanaha rupam yadasya tvam yadasya deveshu. We'll go into the meaning in the next class. If you think you know the rupam of Brahman, either as yourself as an object or among the devas, therefore you say, I know very well. Then, mimamsameva, you have to do mimamsa. Mimamsa is analysis of the sentences of the Shastra. You have to do that. Last line here is the Shishya's answer. Manye viditam. Interesting question answer between the Shishya, the teacher and the student. We will see that tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you.